The 1987 Star Wars parody that George Lucas personally approved exists only because of one ironic restriction, and that restriction created the movie's most quoted scene. Behind the jokes were actors suffering in dangerous costumes, A-list stars who turned down roles, and improvised moments that saved the entire film. Here's a countdown of strange truths that prove Spaceballs is even weirder than the movie itself. 15. An original poster was hidden in Toronto for decades. An original 1987 Spaceballs poster was discovered in 2018 behind another poster in Toronto, perfectly preserved for over 30 years. The city went wild when it was revealed. Then it was covered up again. A time capsule nobody asked for. 14. Spaceballs came about because Mel Brooks spilled a drink. The original working title was Planet Moron until another movie used a similar name. While brainstorming, Brooks spilled his drink and yelled, "Balls!" His co-writer Ronnie Graham immediately shouted, "Spaceballs!" and cinema history was made. 13. Michael Winslow saved thousands by making sounds with his mouth. The sound effects guy from Police Academy performed all the radar noises live on set. The bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps, saving over $1,000 in production cost. He also wrote his own dialogue for the radar scene. 12. The film was shot, where The Wizard of Oz was made, and there were still yellow bricks. Spaceballs was the last film shot on the MGM lot before it changed hands, filmed on the same stage where The Wizard of Oz was shot in 1939. Crew members found old yellow bricks throughout the production. 11. Star Trek's Tim Russ delivers the "We ain't found nothin" line. The spaceball combing the desert with an afro pick? That's Tim Russ, who later played Tuvok on Star Trek. Voyager for 7 seasons. His 5 seconds of screen time in Spaceballs became more famous than entire episodes of the show. 10. Daphne Zuniga thought Mel Brooks, Comedies were too vulgar. Princess Vespa admitted she found Brooks's movies just not funny before auditioning. When she expressed uncertainty about the comedy, Brooks responded, "That might be an asset." She became one of the film's biggest champions. Davini. Give the gold makeup. Nearly killed Mel Brooks playing Yogurt required Brooks to walk on his knees while covered in thick gold makeup. Despite being told it was non-toxic, the makeup gave him a severe allergic rash that spread to his face, neck, and eyes, forcing scenes to be filmed out of sequence while he recovered. He called it potentially life-threatening. 8. Mute the pizza. The Hut actor got burned and quit. The 25-pound costume required real hot pancake batter pumped through tubes to simulate melted cheese. Real cheese didn't flow enough. The original actor, Richard Caron, reportedly received second and third-degree burns from the bubbling cheese and refused to return for reshoots. Effects artist Rick Lazzarini had to replace him. 7. John Candy's costume. Nearly ruined his performance, but he never lost his cool. The Barf costume included animatronic ears controlled by puppeteers, a battery pack weighing up to 30 pounds, and a tail that Candy operated with a hidden button in his paw. The mechanical elements frustrated him because they interfered with his subtle comic timing. Bill Pullman observed, "John's sense of comedy was so ephemeral, these short, shy moments, and there was real difficulty delivering that." Despite constant frustration, Candy never yelled or got angry. 6. Tesla's ludicrous mode is a direct Spaceballs reference. Tesla's acceleration modes, ludicrous mode and plaid mode, are named after the film's famous speed sequence. Light speed, ridiculous speed, ludicrous speed. Then they've gone to plaid. Elon Musk loved the movie enough to name real car features after it. 5. The film won Worst Movie. Then became a cult classic. Critics tore it apart in 1987. Roger Ebert gave it 2.5 stars. The Stinkers Bad Movie Awards named it Worst Film. It grossed only $38 million against a $22.7 million budget, opening in second place behind Dragnet. Then VHS happened. By 2012, Brooks admitted, "I've made a dozen movies and they've all been left in the dust by Spaceballs." 4. John Hurt. Flew across the world for one scene as a personal favor. The chestburster scene works because the actual John Hurt from Alien watches it happen again and sighs, "Oh, number, not again." He flew to set for a single day as a favor to Brooks, who had produced The Elephant Man. 3. Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise turned down the lead, and the real star had never seen. Star Wars M. GM desperately wanted a bankable Tom for Lone Starr. Both Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise passed. James Caan was Brooks's original choice, but was unavailable. Brooks was furious. "If you make it a Tom movie, it's not a parody anymore. It's a Tom movie." Bill Pullman was discovered in an off-Broadway play and had exactly one film credit. Most incredibly, Pullman had never seen the original Star Wars trilogy before filming, and didn't even know Spaceballs was a Star Wars parody when he was offered the role. 2. Rick Moranis. Improvised the funniest scene while sick with a fever. The famous scene where Dark Helmet plays with action figures, complete with the disturbing, "Your helmet is so big." Dialogue was entirely improvised and not in the script. Brooks handed Moranis some hastily made toys on set and told him to do something funny. Moranis later revealed, "I wasn't at my best. I think I had a fever, but I somehow managed to come up with that." 1. George Lucas. Approved the film, but his one restriction. Created its most famous scene, Mel Brooks was terrified of being sued, so he sent Lucas the script. Lucas responded saying he'd seen Blazing Saddles about 10 times and couldn't wait to see the finished film. His blessing came with one ironic condition. His lawyers banned any Spaceballs merchandise because the toys would look too similar to Star Wars action figures. Brooks agreed, then wrote an entire scene mocking Hollywood's merchandise obsession. The prop department created fake products including Spaceballs, the coloring book, and Spaceballs, the flamethrower. The movie's most quoted scene exists solely because of the legal agreement that allowed the film to exist. After the release, Lucas sent Brooks a handwritten note saying he was afraid of busting something from laughing so hard. Industrial Light and Magic, Lucas's own effects company, even provided post-production support. Star Wars literally helped create its own parody. Yet bonus, the sequel is actually happening and Rick Moranis is coming back. Spaceballs 2 is officially in production for 2027, the 40th anniversary. Most shockingly, Rick Moranis is returning as Dark Helmet in his first major live-action role since he semi-retired nearly 30 years ago. Bill Pullman, Daphne Zuniga, and George Weiner are also returning. Lewis Pullman, Bill's real son, plays Lone Starr's son. And in a touching tribute, Chris Candy, John Candy's son, plays Barf Jr. The official description? A franchise expansion sequel part 2. Non-prequel, non-reboot, but with reboot elements. Already satirizing modern Hollywood before a single frame has been released.